Hey, it's Rosemary here. How you doing? Okay, you've had this big dream, this big idea for as long as you can remember. The one where you impact a whole lot of people for good, the one where you do something that changes the world, the one where you don't just read the news, you actually make the news happen. And you dreamt of it and you dreamt of it, and then life came along and started to convince you that somehow those big ideas were too big for little old you. After all, no one like you gets to do such things, right? And so you let people convince you to make the dream smaller and smaller and smaller until it seemed just about manageable for someone of your type. But while all this was going on and you were convincing yourself that you were being adult and practical and responsible and all of that nonsense, there's been a part of you that just kind of still dreams the big dream, okay? The one that seeps through in the dead of the night when there's no filters. The one that almost taunts you because it feels a little like you were given this big dream, this big idea, but also at the same time told that you couldn't have it. Like a child given a toy but then made to give it back. Yes, honey, this is it. You can have it. But actually, no, you can't. At least that's the way it feels. That's the way it feels as if you're being told. And I mean, even your local spiritual guide gave you this prophetic insight about this long-held dream of yours. And it all seemed so possible in that conference or that retreat. But now, in the stark light of day, you just have to make do with whatever you can get, right? You can settle for whatever because great things don't happen to small people like you, right? And so on and on and on it goes. The taming of you. The lion becomes the lamb. The champion becomes the settle for whatever kind of norm person. And you try, yes, you try to be happy with the norm, but there's a part of you that feels cheated, okay? And you should. You really should, because you are doing this stupid nonsense to yourself. Let me tell you again, that dream that you have, it was given to you so that you can fulfill it, okay? So that you would fulfill it. But guess who has the privilege of bringing it to life? Yes, honey, you do. You have the privilege. You are the one that makes the decision to ignore the nonsense, no matter how vivid all around you the nonsense seems, and you get to work making that dream come true. Even God himself will not make you do it. You have to, despite all appearances to the contrary, or so you think, wake up every single morning, remind yourself of who you are born to be, and then take action appropriate to what you want to make happen. You. Little old you, okay? You have to believe long enough to make it happen. And that, honey, is where the struggle is happening. Because on the one hand, you say you want this big dream, this big idea, this big thing. But on the other hand, you're so used to playing small and believing nonsense and living like all the norms around you. And you're scared that if you suddenly started to really be the person you know you should be or could be, then you might fail. And you might look silly. And so you keep coming up with reasons to play small. And I'm calling you out, leader, okay? I am calling you out. You say you want to change the world, then let's do it. Don't tell me nonsense about not being able to afford it, because the more people you serve, the more money you make, okay? Don't tell me nonsense about not knowing what to do, because, honey, I know you do know what to do. And even if by some mysterious chance you don't know, I will help you figure that out, okay? So don't tell me nonsense about not having time, because, honey, I will help you find the time. Do you want the dream or don't you? That is all I really want the answer to. And if the answer is yes, then it all starts with one thing, a decision. A decision to go forward and never, ever go back. So let's start here. The Power of a Decision audio course. It's a 10-day course. It begins on Monday, okay? And you have to be on board. I'm going to help you strip off all the nonsense that has held you back to date. And then you are going to make a solid decision to change the world, starting with your world, okay? A small decision is required by you to join this course. And yet the repercussions, the consequences of joining the course will last a lifetime, because it will help you see just how much nonsense you've been buying into. And from Monday, you will stop. You'll just stop doing that, and instead you'll start to create a new reality. One where there is no such thing as little old you. One where you'll recognize your innate power to choose whatever life experience you want. One where you start to do everything you've just kind of dreamt about in the past, but now you'll start to get results. It is time, leader. There's just no more time left to live the wrong life. I keep saying this, and it's the truth, okay? So you need to go right now to rosemarynoninight.com/power of decision. And let's get the show on the road. It's time to fight for and to deliberately design the life you were born to live because you want to. Are you ready? Okay then.